Everybody in Zoom, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. We just got this little thing. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have about 10 people in the room. So this first part, we just really wanted to do small brief introductions on the people that kind of showed. And then after that, we'll move on to some of the chamber's updates. And the reason we're having a meeting like this is because, one, as an organization, I feel like it's necessary to give update to our membership on where we're going, but it's also to get as much feedback as we can so that we're developing things that are actually needed in our membership. So I think that's really important. So this is where it first stemmed out, or this is how it stemmed out. We had our last quarterly meeting about 3 months ago, and it's actually uploaded to YouTube. So every single meeting, we'll do the same thing. We'll record it and we'll upload it. So in case you guys want to know where we are, where we're going, you guys will have access to that information.
We're gonna admit people that are in the waiting room. That's kind of one of those things you gotta do. Well,
Could you admit them, Andrew?
Yeah, I gotta log into the info.
Okay.
I can do it while you're giving them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we'll probably go around the room. I think we can probably start with Julia. Did you want to give a nice brief introduction?
Hello, my name is Julia Garrido. I am one of the board members for GNTHCC. Sorry, it's long. And I am in charge of the education portion of the chamber. And so right now, we started the program on the 15th of November. We have about 12 members that joined the program. So the class actually started today again after the holiday. So we'll be receiving how many we have at the end of the program. I know it will end at the end of May. So if you have any questions or want a way to be involved, and if you would like to be a mentor to the mentees that are part of that program, we're looking for about 12 people to be part of that as well. As a business owner, it's important for us to help each other out, and that's one of the reasons why we started this program as well. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Andrew Gonzalez, and I am a board member for GNTHCC, as well as on the finance committee. We are working on ensuring that we have budgets prepared for next year to ensure that we're able to have larger events, more events, our members, provide everyone with resources to help grow your businesses as well.
All right.
My name is Ricardo Chiu, and I'm a member of in general.
The Greater Texas
Yeah.
Hispanic Chamber.
Long name, GNTHCC. And I'm here attending this meeting because I want to see what the updates are, and if I can provide some information about now that the foundation it's going on, be part of it and try to help as much as I can. Finding the right artists to be exposed, and with your help to expose them.
I'm Matt Priest. I am a member of GNTHCC. I live out close to this area and had helped work a little bit with Ricardo on the event that he did out here, and have been a member for just maybe the last 2 months, so not a very long time. I've only been to a couple of meetings, and just do want to see how I can get involved. Whatever I can help with in whatever capacity. I just want to be active.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Saul Biascana. I'm a a lawyer and I'm a new member. And I'm just excited to be here tonight and to continue to develop my relationship, my network with the members of the chamber and the board. And they're in whatever they might be endeavoring in and however I can help.
Yeah, my name is David Contreras and I'm a licensed architect and a firm owner. And my specialty is really in the architecture, engineering and construction industry. So whatever benefit that I can provide to the group here as maybe a knowledge expert to, support any development or, any kind of any questions that you may have in that arena and provide some support, just general support. I'm just a member, not a board member, but I'm here to support any initiatives that you guys are involved with, and the chamber has been very supportive of my endeavors, and I just want to be to show my support as well.
Hi, I'm Naomi Gonzalez Brumea. I'm a volunteer of GTHCC.
GN.
I tried. I'm a volunteer and I have a lot of time on my hands, so I'm trying to just get involved and help everyone as I can.
Thank you, Naomi. We always welcome volunteers, people that have time in their hands, because there's a lot of work to do. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. I really appreciate you coming here in person. I know it's a little far for some of you, but I think sometimes the face-to-face and just the fellowship and means a lot. It makes a big difference. And thank you all of you that are joining on Zoom. Really equally as appreciative of you coming on. I am currently the chairperson for the Greater North Texas Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. This is a grassroots organization. This is something we're growing from the nothing to what we have seen already, thanks to people like you. So all of you, thank you and welcome.
All right.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you. And just really quick, my name is Gilberto Taide. I'm the Director of Operations for the Greater North Texas Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And I've been doing this full time since this last February. And I gotta say, this time of the year, we're putting stuff together and we kind of put all the things that we've done throughout the year. So at the very end of this meeting, we'll present to you the annual report. But I'm excited because this year was a year where we really didn't have a lot of funding or any funding at all. It's all been volunteers just getting together and putting these events together. And I was counting the amount of hours that our members have put into meetings like this, putting things together. And I was very, very surprised. So we'll go over that information here a little bit later. But I think I'll open it up to what we did last time on our quarterly meeting. So there was 3 topics that were kind of frequent on those conversations, and one was basically more access to funding. Grants was a thing that kept coming up. So next year we are planning on putting some workshops together on helping people put that strategy. But there was an organization called Wise Resource Developments that has workshops year round. So there's a few that are gonna start. We'll start promoting in the beginning of January. And FC Dallas this year actually opened up the 2023 partner program. In that partner program, FC Dallas gives a $5,000 grant to business owners. And but the winner of that grant will also have access to FC Dallas assets, which means that can help you advertise, they can help you grow your business. And they've had a couple of businesses that went through the partner program in 2021, and they have done really well with scaling. There's a few, I think there was a cookie shop, I forget the name of the cookie shop, but they started out with 1 store and they're opening their 3rd store pretty soon. So really excited about that, but it's something that just came about having these meetings and conversations with people. The other thing is having more events. We focused a lot in Collin County this year, but next year I think we have a few more volunteers so we can start spreading out a little bit more. And there's 4 counties that we'll probably start targeting. There's Collin County, Tarrant County, Denton County,
Yeah.
and Dallas County. So we'll have events throughout for those, but we will need some help setting up those events. So if you're interested, always feel free to send me a message, and we'll figure out which one's the one closest to your area, which committee is closest to your area. The other thing is that we've right now the onboarding process. So a member signs up, they get a link, they fill out the link, and we get information. They upload a headshot, and we introduce them. We wanted to, I think, over time, enhance that experience. When I sign up to a chamber, I want to make sure I feel welcome. I want to make sure that I'm making connections right away. So because of that, we are deciding to start having onboarding member events. And these onboarding member events, we'll talk about what the organization entails, but also it'll be open to just the membership, GNTHC membership. And we partnered with a Brenda Bolden for us to get the members a free headshot, so they can get a little bit of nice marketing material there. And Roque opened it up to where if a person signs up, they'll get a business valuation at no cost from Omaha Mutual of Omaha. So I think those are really, really good benefits, just signing up and knowing that you can get a business valuation and you can get more marketing exposure. So I thought that was really neat. And then our lunch and learns, something that came up too, is that we should start having lunch and learns in Spanish. Well, there is a system or a software. It's called Beacon X, where the owner of the organization is actually opening or going through the process of it being the official platform for the UN. But it's AI translation. So you're having the call, you're speaking, and the person at the other end is hearing it in their language. So that will be very nice, because that means that we'll be able to have our Zoom calls in about 8 different languages next year. So that'll be pretty exciting, and in 4K too. But as we're kind of, it's a product that's still in demo right now, in beta version, and they'll get updates in the next couple of weeks. So we'll test it out and make sure that it's something that will be beneficial to our membership. If it is, then we'll look into getting it for next year. And also a lot of website stuff. So I know there's a lot of things that we can do to the website right now. Adding a member directory is one of them. But we'll talk about some of those updates in the upcoming slides. I'll stop right there because I know I've said a lot. Any questions, any thoughts, any feedback up to this point?
I think the headshots is a great idea.
Yeah.
As a small business owner, that's one of the things that you need, but it's like, when do you have time?
Yeah.
And you gotta find somebody who can do it. That'd be nice.
All right.
Yeah, I agree.
That's good. It's good to hear. Anything else? We'll move on.
Any other ideas on a membership packet? Because I think the headshot thing, and what was the other one? A profile? Or business
Yeah.
evaluation.
Business evaluation.
Is there anything else that would provide value that anybody could?
I think the other thing too is our communications team is working on a marketing toolkit. So a lot of, and I've seen this a lot. Our business, or our chamber, gets about 60 to 70% of the memberships through social media, and it's crazy. And I was honestly surprised when I started running, where our leads are coming from. But I think that if we can teach members how to advertise on social media, that's going to help us out in the long run. And a marketing toolkit that has images that you can already use and just copy and paste, videos that you can just copy and paste, that'll help out their business. So I think that's one of the things that we'll start developing, but we'll need a lot. We need more designers for sure, and we'll need more people that create content. So I think one of the ideas that one of our board member had was to partner with a local school and see if we can get some of those students exposure. Because they'll need some exposure when it comes to designing certain things. And if they can say, hey, I'm designing this campaign for the Chamber of Commerce, maybe it'll help them get hired into, somewhere else. So I think that would be a good way to kind of approach that. But that's a good thought. Thank you, David. Anything else?
About the art, the foundation, the new. Oh, it's still in development.
Yeah.
When is it gonna be?
In concrete? Yeah, so there's we are in the process of registering the foundation. We should have a registration by the end of this year. And then after that, we'll work on setting up the bylaws and setting up the board member structure for it. Because we'll definitely need some dedicated people to adjust the foundation. And I'm excited because I think definitely the foundation will open up a lot more opportunities. And I was looking at actually software that'll help us manage it. Once we have a 501(c), we can get Microsoft, I think at no cost. We can get about 5, if there's a grant by Google that they give to nonprofits that we can apply for. It's about I think it's about up to $10,000 in ads or ad money. So that'll boost our website a lot if we can get that type of grant. And then there's also a few CRM systems and everything that would also, we can apply for and get for free for the foundation. So that'll help us manage things a little bit better, but that's a very good question. Thank you. Anybody else on the call? Any questions, any thoughts? Quiet. All right. That's okay. That's okay. So I'll go and start going to the project updates. Every single committee meets on a monthly or bi-monthly basis, depending on what's going on. And every committee has certain tasks that will get to where we want to be. And ultimately, when we start thinking about what the chamber represents, we're really there to foster economic growth in the region for the Hispanic community. But we say Hispanic community because there is specific issues that that the Hispanic community goes through. One of them is addressing culture. The other thing is making sure that we have access to more resources, because statistically, we're 40%, or over 40% of the population in Texas. We're opening up businesses faster than anyone else, but we're also closing them faster than everyone else. And average income is still lower than everybody else's. So if we were to, there's a study by Chase that said that if we were to just perform like other businesses, we would add about $3.1 trillion to the US economy. So it's a benefit to not just our community, but it's really a benefit to everyone. And I think it's good that we're a Hispanic chamber addressing those types of issues. But it is 6:25. In 5 minutes, I will have Dallas College, the entrepreneurship class that Julio was talking about. Just hop on the Zoom call and say hi to everyone. And so hopefully they'll log in here in a little bit. But if it's okay with you guys, should I go on to the committee
I was
update?
gonna say, we can take a little time if you want any refreshments. I think that they're about ready to serve, and there's wine, there's soft drinks, so it's casual, so just help yourselves, all right? Yeah.
Okay. So we'll just give it the 5 minutes, a 5-minute recession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam's Antojitos is catering today, and she is a brand new business, an entrepreneur. And she's actually donating all the labor. And, so we need to recognize their work today. Thank you.
And then when's the grand opening? Are they having a? grand
Well, we haven't talked about that, but we definitely need to talk. Do a big ribbon cutting. Who is joining us? There's, I see Sylvia. Amber.
Hello, everyone.
Uriel, is Uriel?
And I think that's
Hi, Real.
Too bad you're not gonna be able to have any, antojitos.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. So the, students are gonna join?
Yeah. Let me send it.
It's kind of weird, dark meetings.
It's usually not that.
Yeah, no. Usually not dark. Dark because of the screen.
Yeah.
Nice.
Que también tengo una prima que también está en la misma situación y así, ¿no? Pero se están tardando, no sé por qué están tardando mucho.
Pero ya,
Entonces, tu última audiencia fue esta vez.
ahorita ya lo están haciendo, entonces, octubre 3 fue lo
Ajá, la audiencia.
la cita que tuve, pero es para dejarlo. Y luego el área, entonces me dijeron, en la siguiente día,
Y ya. Él se regresó, pues porque él tenía que pasar a ir al porque mi mamá está esperando que su esposo le den la cita la tenía para creo que era junio del año pasado, y se la dieron hasta el 23. Se la cambiaron, como que se la cambiaron. Pues está esperando su cita para terminar eso de la
Okay.
David.
Hello, Dr. Ibarra, can you hear me?
Mine's on mute.
No, no. Thank you. Should be fine. Yeah. Dr. Ibarra, can you hear us?
How are you doing? Yes, I had to connect. Sorry about that.
Okay, no worries, no worries. You probably won't be able to see our group.
Okay, I'm going to show
are-
you the group over here. So I'm going to turn it to them if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let me go ahead and raise the volume. All right, you're good to go.
All right. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully. Okay, I see some hand motions, so I guess you guys are hearing me okay. So we're having our roundtable meeting and in our chamber here. And what that is a quarterly meeting that we have to talk about where our organization is going and what we've been doing. So you guys will start sending or will start receiving emails on some of the things that we're working on. So you guys get the best resources that you can get locally. I know that one of our board members, Christian Rocha, is in the class. I can't see Christian, is he there?
Yeah.
Oh, I see him.
No.
Is one of our board members, but I'm really glad he decided to take this course because I know there's going to be a lot of great information that we can take back and start promoting this free or a no-cost course to everyone else that's in our organization. So I'm really, really proud that we were able to kind of put this together with just volunteers. And you guys have access to a lot of different mentors in this organization that will help you out. So in our website, if you go to gnthcc.org, you'll have a way to book a consultation with our membership. So always feel free, if you have any type of questions, feel free to book a call and we'll hop on and see how we can help you out. Any questions from the Dallas College group?
They said not yet. I'm sure they'll
Not-
fire me by the end of this session.
Okay. Later on, we're gonna have them do presentations for all of our memberships, so I hope they're getting ready.
Yes, they're getting ready.
All
Yeah.
right, yeah. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for helping us connect on this call, and we'll start we'll try to stop by next week, or I'm sorry, you guys are probably off next week, right?
No, yeah, let's see. We're gonna come back again December 6th. So yeah, it is next week, right? Yeah, we'll be here. It's
Okay.
room M134.
All right, December 6th. So we'll have another representative kind of talk to them and see how we can help them out.
All right, sounds good. And it's a room M134, Michael 134.
All right, thank you, Dr. Ibarra. I really appreciate it.
You're quite welcome. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah. The video there. All right, so if it's okay with you guys, I'll go ahead and start moving on to the updates. And we'll start with. Our communications team. All right, for our membership team. So our membership is right now composed of Evelyn Cermeño Roque, and we have George Martinez, and we have Victoria Delgadillo in that group. So right now, in the past quarter, we had about 61 prospects. And Carlos Salazar. We had about 61 prospects that we had Zoom calls and talked about the chamber. And out of 61 prospects, 25 of them were signups. We don't have a lot of renewals because we haven't started our renewal campaign. But right now we're pretty 98%. So I think that another thing, we're going to see that if you need I think it's oh, okay.
Thank you. Another.
But 44.98% is a really good metric. When we talk to all of those members, about 70 or 80% of them have never heard of a chamber before, which is astonishing. But I'm really proud of that stat because that means that we're reaching the right audience. So our communications team has done a really good job. There's been a couple of updates that the membership committee has been working on, and one is the membership packet, just making it more robust, make it look nice, so that people know what to expect when they sign up. They've also updated the presentation. So there's a PowerPoint presentation that we go through every time somebody is asking about the chamber. And so they built that out, so they have a little structure, a little process that they go through, and then everyone gets the same information when they're signing up. And we talked about a little bit about this earlier, but it's the onboarding meetings that we'll start having. We haven't decided where we'll have those onboarding meetings. Or a good place that we can have them, please let me know. But that those are the updates for the membership committee. Any questions, thoughts, concerns?
I think one of the ideas was to do all the renewals at the beginning of the year. People that have been with us from the very beginning. We did not renew them through the pandemic because, you know, it was kind of virtual and minimal. So we're gonna do all the renewals starting 2023, so everybody gets on the same cycle of renewals. And so if you have been with us for a while and you have not renewed, that's coming up, if we need to make sure that you're on the whatever, however you, yeah, instructions, so we can send you the renewal. And yeah, so I encourage all of you to consider making your renewal pledge so that we can actually start working on a budget, because those numbers are important to us.
And this renewal is every year.
It's an annual
It's an
membership.
annual
Yes.
Any other questions, concerns, thoughts? Before I move on?
Have you considered like a lifetime membership?
Yes.
All right.
Like a lump sum, that's it, and then you don't have to do it.
That would be a bad idea, but
I don't know.
Yeah, those will be considered big, like big time sponsorships.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's usually a large sum.
Mhm, mhm.
that would be nice.
They have both options.
Have the options, that's right.
All
I
right.
like that idea.
That could be a tax.
Or it's 10 years.
Right,
Not-
well,
not-
and,
not
and
like-
the idea, the larger people that, you know, are able to contribute a large amount, we will have the foundation. So the foundation is actually going to be a 5013 C
Mhm.
organization, which is, your donations will be tax deductible that way. We're working with Saul and Andrew on setting that up. But we will still have our membership for the chamber. The chamber functions through memberships and sponsorships. The foundation will be a fundraising organization. Anything that comes through there will be tax deductible. And I believe that even your membership is still, you can declare it as a office expense, right?
Yeah, as long as you can justify it as a
Yeah.
business expense.
Right, yeah, but I think your donation is actually a
The
big,
donation is,
yeah,
Mhm.
much bigger deal.
All right.
Do you have membership goals, growth goals?
So I'm looking at, because really, this year has been the year where we're testing the waters on a lot of things. And we had over 120 signups this year. And this is something that took, it took a lot of work. But next year, I mean, it wouldn't be bad to say that we'll get another 120. So if that's the case, we'll probably be at about 300 members at that point. So hopefully, I think once we start posting about our Cinco de Mayo event in May, and we start all that marketing material, that's when we start getting a lot more Zoom calls.
And that will
People
be
ask
here
me.
in Flower Mound, the Cinco de Mayo event,
Yep,
Parker Square.
in Parker Square. So that'll be fun. Anything else?
For the conociéndonos meetings or
The networking,
yeah, the networking, how often it is
Once a
that
month.
happening? It's once a month.
once a month.
And is there like a different or it's just in a specific?
Well, we
Yeah.
like, since we have such a large region to cover,
Tenemos una maestra que vive en el carro. Oh, yeah. Muy triste historia.
we
Dijeron,
will try,
nombra a su asistente de la SUC.
somebody needs to mute.
There we go.
There we go. We will try to move them around, you know, in the different counties. We're gonna be targeting those 4 counties, so. McKinney is a good area for us, Allen, Frisco. Then we'll do Dallas for sure. We have done several in Dallas, up here in Flower Mound, Denton area. And then Tarrant County, which is something that we haven't really worked on, but that's another. Those four counties for now. Mhm.
Yeah,
So you basically don't have a national office. Okay.
We are looking for a headquarters, and I believe that if we find something, it more than likely will either be Denton County or Collin County.
all right, moving on to the next slide. All
But,
right.
but we're not close to any other location, if anybody knows.
Yeah, absolutely. So for communications, let's get a little bit closer here. There's a couple of marketing pieces that we've already worked on this year. And earlier I talked about marketing toolkits. So a member signs up, they get some kind of toolkit that'll help them start posting content online. But our own toolkits for several different initiatives, kind of like the business entrepreneurship program. If we want to recruit more people, you're going to have a series of posting videos during certain times of the year that will start just reposting so we can reach a bigger audience. And then we have a lot of website updates. So one thing that we got quoted on a while back is that there is a platform called Growth Zone that will allow members to add events to our website, and it will add a directory, and it will add, there'll be a way for you to get like a login so you can have access to certain resources. We got quoted $9,500 for something like that. So I think we have to wait until the foundation is set up. In the meantime, we'll just start uploading some of the things that we're currently doing. And then and we'll slowly start putting what we have right now. But that'll take a little bit more time. I think the team is working pretty hard on that, and eventually we'll get that going. But as of right now, that website still reaches about 10,000 people a month.
Yeah.
Last time I checked. So it's like, that's actually really, really good for just the website that, you know, it was sponsored by one of our members, one of our board members actually. But there's definitely a lot more that we can do with it. We created the event and program prospectus document, which is basically what events we're going to have in 2023 and where are we looking sponsorships, or what kind of sponsorships we can kind of look for. That will be sent out on December the 1st. So I'll make sure to include all the different stuff that we'll be involved in. We did the 2022 annual report, which is the things that we did this year. And I'll show you a little bit of that at this call. We also put together the strategic initiatives document, which basically talks about, there's always a difference between planning and strategy. And planning, it takes a lot more, right? But strategy is just basically figuring out what is going to be the things that make our chamber unique, and what are the things that we should focus on making stronger, so that we continue growth for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years. So I will actually be sending out that document later on as well. But it's a high-level overview on what we want to accomplish. And we've created packets for every single committee. So ribbon cutting, membership, as volunteers coming in, they get a packet of what to expect with that committee. And then we did create a SharePoint so that they can start looking at current resources. And if volunteer, they'll take a look at all of the calls that are happening throughout the month. And we'll give people access to it. We started giving people access to that already, but we'll probably start rolling it out at the end of this year too. And GNTHCC Dallas Quest Edition. I know this year we were working on having an official magazine for the chamber. I think that's something that I think is needed. It would be nice to have as well in the event. We can have somebody interviewing or posting on that magazine. And I think Ricardo Chu has also mentioned that he's done it in the past, right, Ricardo?
Yeah, publish a few magazines, but it's basically, if you're gonna start with magazine online, we need that space on the website. Content is very important. Like if I get the content, like if we're going to release every 2 months or quarterly every 3 months, we need a few volunteers, you know, to help us out, do all those interviews, photo shoots, you know, going to the venues and, you know, attend all the events.
Right. That's that we have to put together. but that'll be in development.
I've written before for the newspaper and some magazines. I'd be happy to do any kind of work like that. Interviews, short interviews, everything's short. nowadays.
People don't read very.
No, no, yeah. Back if we learned how to write nowadays. Like, yeah. But yeah,
Well, that would be nice. I'm writing your name. down.
What better than a lawyer to write for you?
All right, thank you. Anything else on communications or our marketing? Questions?
Yeah, I guess once you read the documents, you might come up with some questions later on, and you're always welcome to just message him.
I think you said magazine, but you're not talking about like a physical magazine.
Yeah, at
right?
some point, we would like to have a printed.
Because I went to it's like a similar Asian real estate membership,
Mhm.
and I've been a couple, and they always have this magazine there.
Yeah.
I think they publish it once a year, and I picked it up, and it just has like an opportunity for, for you to buy, what is it,
An ad,
advertise,
yeah.
ads, and from the members, and it talks about what's going on or what's happened in the past. It's just like another revenue stream, but then it's at every Conociendo's event or every event, so it's always
That
something
would be-
that's
I mean, even just once a year.
Once a year,
Yeah.
It's an annual report or a monthly newsletter, like you have the newsletter every month.
Yeah.
Every
Oh,
week.
yeah.
No, you have it every week.
Yeah, my marketing guys. He's over the top. He's over the top, yeah. I told him to calm down on that.
No, that's good. I heard, so what's a good, and this is really for me to kind of get a gauge. How often should we send emails? Twice a month, 3 times a month? Should it be weekly? Should it be monthly?
Like a
Bi-monthly?
newsletter?
Yeah, like a newsletter, a recap of what we're.
It's good to be fresh on the mind, and because you don't have to be, like you can be inundated easily, and then obviously I get emails and you're scrolling and you're just like, it's easy to just dismiss it.
Yeah,
But I told my guy, I just want one single, just here's what's happening, maybe 2 or 3 things, and then that's it. Once every, weeks or something.
okay.
But
bi-weekly.
for us, it's an opportunity to be and go. They're more like spontaneous. And so for us, it's like, we're just kind of fishing. So if the time is right where there is a project and they just happen to see us, and it
Yeah.
just leads to it. So
How
every
often
2
are we in hours right now?
So I'm gonna start doing it, or we started doing it twice a month now. So, and I'm separating it out by categories. One of them will be specific for events, and then the other will be impacts. Anything else, basically, impacts and resources. And I'm testing the waters, for different things. We still have a 50% open rate. So we send out 1,000 emails, 500 get read. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We have about a 3% click rate, which is, I think, average, 2-3%. And then, the one thing that we haven't been doing is categorizing where we're getting leads and tagging them. Because if we're getting leads from Facebook, you can categorize it, tag it, and then send specific email chains to that group. And then if we're getting leads from networking events, then you start sending out specific emails to that group. The same thing with coming in from the business entrepreneurship program, the same thing. That takes a lot of time to develop, so we'll be working on it. Anything else? Marketing? All right.
That's works better.
So education. So initially, we did have 15 into our business entrepreneurship program. We did have 15 signups to it. One person could not go through the program at the moment, but we're working on expanding the business entrepreneurship program to more counties. We had about 70 people interested in the program. A lot of them did not qualify because they either had a degree or were not residents of Dallas County. But as we keep growing, I think that's something that Dallas College expressed, that they want to open it up to other counties. And if they open it up to other counties, that'll benefit our membership. And we'll keep that growing. Right now, we have 100% retention rate, so nobody has dropped out of the course. And as far as mentorship, we're gonna start increasing the amount of mentorship hours that we're giving those people going through that program. So if you get a message from Julia saying, hey, could you be a mentor for this person because they want to do this, then you'll kind of know why.
So what does it take for you to be a mentor, or what kind of?
We'll have, so right now, to become a mentor, I'll give you access to the SharePoint that we have, and it'll have the resources for it. And then once you request access, we'll give you some kind of ID, and then you'll coordinate with Julia on the time that you can meet with you, Julia, and the mentee. And we'll start recording all of those out through SharePoint as well.
I think one of the more important things about having a mentor is just to kind of encourage them to stay in class, to attend class, you know, those kind of things, because a lot of them may not even need a whole lot of other things except just encouragement.
Right now, and my goal is, because right now with other organizations going through the same program, they have about a 50% dropout rate. So right now, if we had a 50% dropout rate, we'd have 6 or 7 students go through it. I was like, I definitely want to stay above 80% if we can, and we can do it. I think if we give enough attention to them and they know we're here to really help them out, then it should be an easy goal. But the other thing is we're planning a mid-course review. And whether it's in person or it's virtually, I think we have to have some kind of survey. And then when they're done through the program, which it'll be done in mid-May, I believe, we'll have some kind of celebration, or we'll have some kind of graduation ceremony. Those people going through that program will also get connected with resources for funding. So they have a couple of banks that may come in and talk to the students about getting some good loans, but we'll know more as we're going through it.
Does the chamber issue any diplomas or certificates after the completion, or
The college will, but we will have our own.
through the college?
Yeah.
Through the college,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Well, what about like independent talleres,
We could.
Workshops, yeah.
workshops?
Yeah. Yeah.
We could. We need a lot of people on the education committee, because we do need a lot more workshops next year. And there's a lot of great topics that I've been collecting surveys throughout the year. And we have a list of things that I think we can start addressing January, February, March. But definitely, if you're interested in helping with some of those workshops, reach out to Julia, and then we'll get you started. Any questions on that? Concerns? Or what questions do you guys have? All right. Anybody on the call? Feedback, thoughts? I want to make sure I give you guys some time as well.
I hear someone snoring.
Do we have any hands up?
No?
Can't see that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll move on to the next slide here. For social media. Social media, I stated before, was kind of one of the things that brought organization, and actually a lot of the people together. About 60–70% of them heard about us through social media. On a quarterly basis, we're reaching about 36,000 people online, and 840 as engagement, which is basically when somebody comments on some of your stuff. But there's what we're doing for next year is that I used to be able to get reports that can be refreshed every week. And we actually did put that together with, it's called Google Data Studio for right now. And all it is click of a button, you refresh, you get all the stats to your YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, everything, Facebook, TikTok, and even the website. So I'll be providing the monthly updates on how our social media is doing, because the more we keep growing that, the more organization is going to grow. So I think that's important to give visibility to that every single month. And any questions on that?
If you are not on Facebook, please join us. You know, you may not use Facebook for anything else, but it's really a great tool. We don't get involved in a lot of other you know, the personal things, but it's been a great tool. LinkedIn, we're on LinkedIn, we're pretty active there.
Yeah.
And that's about the two
the
main
big
ones, right?
Mhm.
So make sure that if we have not friended you or we have not liked your page, you let us know because that's what it's about, that we need to promote each other.
And on the website, if you could give us a review, that would be great too, because that boosts stats a lot. We started the website this year, we have about 11 surveys. But even the biggest chamber has only like 14. So I know if we get like 5 or 6 more surveys, we'll probably rank higher. Any other questions?
Well, sí, cualquiera cosa on that.
Yeah.
I noticed that on Facebook, and he is mentioned here, you just joined it with another chamber, Grand Prairie chamber? Or
No, it's the DFW, it's a DFW. DFW is a brand new chamber.
Okay,
We've been involved with that group for a while. It's been a Facebook group.
okay.
It's grown up to over 22,000 people in that group. And so we're part of that, and so we're gonna do a lot of collaboration.
If you're a member of Grand Prairie, member of
Like, for Hispanic?
Not all of it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's where, what's your name?
Claudia.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to advocacy. Advocacy is going to be really important next year. And at every single one of our networking meetings, I've made it a habit to try to bring somebody to bring awareness to a certain topic. So we have our networking meeting event, and then we have somebody speak about something, right? A local program or a resource. But this past year, we attended, or this past quarter, we attended the TAMAC Hispanic Leadership and Business Summit in Austin. I was there with Andrew and Christian, and we had a lot of great information coming from that summit. Actually, that's where they introduced Beacon X, that program. But there's a lot of things that that you can learn just by going to it. I would encourage everyone to attend if you can. We are going to the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce Summit in March. It's actually going to be in DC, March 22nd. And then we are planning to go to the South Dallas Employment Project delegation. We're part of the delegation, and I'll be going in January 23rd. It'll be a 2-day session in Austin there. And I'll talk a little bit more about South Dallas employment in the following slides, but a really, really great opportunity for our chamber. Any questions on that?
I think it's important, since we're gonna be representing actually 30 counties in North Texas, that we make contacts with all of the municipalities, our mayors, our city managers, those type of things, because you know, they need to know who we are and that we're there to not compete with any other chamber, not with the local chamber, but actually just to be an added value, bring added value to their city, to their county, because we can, you know, bring in our cultural events, you know, like we have done with art, those kind of things. So part of advocacy, I think, is just bringing awareness to each county that we'll just take a look of interested Hispanic business owners that want to contribute to the local economies.
Yeah, and I did have, there's some organizations in our membership that help out with improving civic participation. So Joel is one of them, and I think, is Amber on the call? She dropped earlier. But Amber's part of Joel and Cristina Garrido.
Yeah.
And they have a really neat program where they actually go to quinceañeras and they set up a photo booth, but in return, you have to talk about why it's important to vote, and they register people to vote at the quinceañera. Yeah, so I thought that was really creative.
Totally, no, just, you know, promoting civic.
I think, as you mentioned, going to Austin, that's for the session, new session that
Yes.
starts legislature. That's really important for us to be there.
Yes.
I mean, as all of you know, again, not being partisan, but the Hispanic vote was very key this last November, election. So the more that the legislature sees us there at the table with the other Hispanic chambers, the better, I think, this, in particular, this January.
If any of you would like to join the delegation, please let us know, because I think it's gonna be, like you say, it's important that we.
Yeah. Show presence there. They have, I guess I could talk a little bit about South Dallas Employment Project, but basically, it's a project that's backed up by the city of Dallas. And it's 100+ organizations, it's a nonprofit, and their goal is to help out people obtain a living wage, people that have a nonviolent first-time offenders, nonviolent crime and are first-time offenders. And they want to reintroduce them back into the workforce. Because currently, about 20-30% of the workforce right now can't work or can't find a good job because that's holding them back. And so their platform is going to be to encourage businesses or corporations to start hiring. And in the same platform, they'll have over 6,000 certifications that they'll be able to take so that they can be employed. And in those certifications, there's a lot of IT stuff. I saw project management. I mean, these are certifications that I know could get them that living wage. So I think as an organization, we should be a part of that because the majority of those are probably minorities, and that impacts our community directly. If they don't have a living wage job, if they're working minimum wage, they might go back to what they used to be doing. So I think that's really important. Those certifications will also be something that our chamber will have access to. We'll talk about with our board how we're going to roll that out, but that could also add value to even people that are just volunteering. Because if we can say, hey, you volunteer and you can get these certifications at no cost, it can really help people out. So I'm excited about that, and definitely January will be a good time to go. Any questions, concerns on that one? We're good? All right. We'll go to the next one. Ribbon cutting. We haven't had a lot of ribbon cuttings. This year we've had about 3 or 4. And then we have 2 of them in the first quarter of the year. We haven't found out the date yet. But one of the things that's going to help the ribbon cuttings is just having that marketing toolkit. So we're working on making sure that we have a series of posts and things that can bring exposure to that. But we'll probably have to partner with a few, realtors, right? And we'd have to find businesses that are just starting out. So let them know that it's a great way for them to get exposure if they get the chamber to do their ribbon cutting. And we do need more people on that committee because the more we grow, the more ribbon cuttings. And I don't know, Maria, I don't know if she'll be able to do that by herself. So she'll need a lot of help with that. But any questions, any concerns on that one?
As soon as you know of a business that is, opening, let us know. We have pretty good deals on that. I mean,
It's included in the membership.
yeah. So it's great exposure for their business and for us too.
Mm-hmm. Good. So I'll go to the next slide here. Special events. So we always have the Cinco de Mayo. This past year, we had about 1,500 people show up. We had 60+ vendor booths or booths where businesses could set up and talk to people passing by. So we're starting the planning for that already. And we're forming the committee. There's about 3 people involved right now in that committee, but we are looking for 5 or 6 more. Last year, we had about 36 volunteers help out with that Cinco de Mayo, and everybody just put a little bit of their time, and that helped tremendously. But we'll talk about that in the annual report. And we did have a gala planned at the end of this year, but unfortunately, we did not have the resources and we couldn't pull it off in such a short amount of time. So we are starting the planning for that for next December. So hopefully, or I know we'll have enough resources when that time comes around. and we'll make it a great event. For the gala, we had, or actually for just planning sessions this past quarter, we've had about 12 volunteers and about 18 volunteer hours into those. So I know that number is going to go up a lot starting in January, February.
There's a lot of hours that are not counted.
Yeah, being conservative, $200.
Because I know yours and mine are not counted.
Yeah. But any questions on that one? No?
I just like to emphasize that what's exciting to me is that it may seem like a small group here, but because we're in so many different areas, we have 10 here, we have 20 there, we have 30 there, you know. And this has been done out of just sheer enthusiasm, just being able to sell the idea that there's a void in North Texas. I mean, really, there are the local chambers. But like Gilberto was saying, there's a lot of people that don't even know what a chamber is. They've never been involved. And this is just a great opportunity for people that don't think that they belong in a chamber. I mean, just to grow their skill, their leadership, and be involved. And we've been able to do this with very, very little money. I mean, it's just taken a lot of man hours, volunteer enthusiasm. We know that this is needed. We know that there's an opportunity here. It will pay off in the long run. We've always said, you know, the more you're involved, your business is going to be more exposed, and the business is going to come. And we've seen that come. We've already seen that being proven. So I'm just excited because
Even though, I mean,
Yeah.
even though a lot of people don't think that, you know, they can get exposed through a Chamber of Commerce with the special events. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what you gather people, you get that people
Yeah.
together. If you continue to do these special events, at least, you know, like 4 big events a year, and you will pull a lot of business.
Yeah.
I mean, in
But
just
if
in
it
the
was
last
so planned.
Yeah.
year, we've had great connections that have been made. I mean, I know
Yeah.
David made
David,
great
yeah.
connections, just
Mhm.
being one of the networkers, we got a great contract, and
Definitely.
the other party was
Yeah.
able to, you know. So you never know. It's just being out there. Networking is so important. I think
It
that's
is.
probably where most people are really wanting is more events, more opportunity to be out there.
Yep.
And a lot of credit goes to a lot of our younger generations that have all these ideas and they can move things faster because of technology. So I'm really grateful for that.
Okay. And for finance, it's a lot of budgeting. So Andrew has been working hard throughout the year, and he's developing a lot of the budgets for 2023 already. For networking, we had that networking committee. This past quarter in 3 events, we had about 176 attendees. Something that we're working on for 2023 is county assignments. So it takes about 3 to 4 people to set up an event. And I think they should be recurring in each one of the counties that we're targeting for next year. And then we're looking at potential venues for 2023. So let us know if there's one that you'd like to see a networking event, maybe they can work out a deal for us. I started inquiring about Texas Live in Arlington. It's a huge place, and I think it has the biggest TV screen in the world, right? Yeah. So, but it's nice because there's a lot of restaurants and a lot of parking space. So I think it would be really nice to have a network. So we'll see how much that is and if we can.
I know one of the comments from last time was that we needed to add lunch meetings, maybe some networkers during either morning or lunchtime. So we need to take that into consideration.
Yeah, last time was actually on the survey, mostly on
Mhm.
last time. And then I did want to take the time to talk about the January networking event in Plano. First United is opening up their new office there, so it'll be ready during that time of the year. And Gina Miller and Dan Hunt, Dan, the owner of FC Dallas, will be coming to that networking event and talking to our business owners about the World Cup in 2026. Because they're already starting a lot of the planning for it already. But one of the things about these World Cups is you have people from all over the world coming. And in Dallas, I know we're gonna get a bunch of people. So that's a great opportunity for business owners, but you gotta start getting prepared. You know, whether it's having marketing material or making sure that your information is in the right area. But he'll talk to us a little bit about that, and we should have a really good turnout. First United is also inviting all of their nonprofit partners. So I think it would be good for networking events for us to kind of collaborate with some of them.
It'd be a great event if you wanted to invite some of your preferred clients. Meet Dan Hunt. if you want.
That event is at no cost too.
It is.
So any questions on that?
That's a big one.
January
18.
18? 18. All right, so move on to the last slide. Networking. Arts Music Committee. So right now, they're one committee. Eventually, it'll be two committees, but the reason I think this committee will be important is because at every one of our events, we should have a way to, it should be a cultural event, you know, it should be to celebrate the culture. As we're putting our strategic initiatives together, there's a lot of studies that show how cultural awareness can impact the economy. And it's always in a positive way, because a person gets exposed to new ideas, to new ways of thinking, and that helps business owners make better decisions. So there's also the fact that artists, musicians, they're all business owners. So I think as a chamber, we have to focus on how do we help them out? You know, they need exposure, they need funding. So that's where that committee will come in. There's a couple of packets that we'll probably have to start thinking and putting together, and one is our strategy for next year, or the events. You know, have to have a schedule of events, and we'll have to have goals, some kind of goals for next year. I think whether it's getting some of those artist grants or some kind of money for startups, or just, you know, exposure like we had in the October event. We had an artist, they purchased one of their
Oh, yeah, one of the pieces.
Andrew
Yeah.
purchased one of things.
Mhm.
So that
And
helped
there's
them out.
still, there are a few that they're, selling.
That's good.
Yeah, it's just all about exposure, I have some of those pieces in a restaurant where, they have the information of the artist, price.
Oh, okay, that'd be good. So we'll definitely work out some more events with music and arts. And I think those are all for the slides for today. Or at least these here. Any questions, concerns, thoughts? What do y'all think? Good idea, bad idea? We're going in the right direction, bad direction? Kind of, sort of.
Well, it's obviously with now that the pandemic's kind of sort of behind us, it's a great opportunity to become really aggressive, really jump back in and
Yeah.
get people who've been really wanting to get out and do things and get involved in things. It's a good time to recruit not only members, but I think get them involved, because I think a lot of pent-up kind of energy has been there for the last 2 years. We should take advantage of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I think the membership growth goal of what you said, 120 in a year. I think you can surpass that,
I think so too.
especially in the area that you're in. And if you get some more, some more of us doing the membership recruiting for you. then-
Well, that's what it's about. I think it is on all of us.
Yeah.
It is on all of us. It shouldn't just be, a couple of people or a committee. And I do want to emphasize that, because we are a Hispanic chamber, doesn't mean that only Hispanics are able to join. But to see the purchasing power in the Hispanic market that you are able to access through this chamber is a great selling point. So we do need to go after all kinds of memberships, all kinds of people. don't ever think that we are Hispanic only. Just Hispanics doing this, that's all it is. Hispanics and whoever wants to join us.
Yep. Good. So I'll close out these PowerPoints. And it is 7:17 right now. 7:17. The one thing I kind of wanted to show you guys before we completely close out is that the annual report. And I will be sending this out. See if we can get a glimpse of it right now.
While he's doing that, I do want to just brief a little more about the foundation. I mean, we were really hoping that we could get this foundation launched by December. We're having to slow it down a little bit. I think it's still a thing that we want to do. It is going to happen. The foundation, I think, is going to have a lot more resources, a lot more ways for us to fund the things that we want to do. So there will be a different board that governs the foundation, and we'll have specific qualifications for board members for that. Once we have it all put together, we'll send that out to the membership, or you may want to consider being part of that board. It would be really important. I think it's also great exposure for a business person to be on a board like that. And like I said, it's once we get this going, I don't know if we can see the potential, but I just keep getting excited because I mean this can be really big. We're North Texas, and that's a lot of people. Some cows here and there, but there's a lot of people. So consider that as we go into. I think what we're planning on doing is that we can go ahead and register it so that we can officially start taking pledges for the foundation. Once we know that there's some money coming, then we can proceed to go into the next step. And hopefully by the end of the first quarter, we can make a big announcement and we'll.
Yes. Yes, potential. All right.
So pulling this up, the annual report, I do want to thank there's 32 people here that have helped out throughout the year. I don't think I missed anyone, but if I did,
You don't have your name in there?
I have to put my name in
In my
this.
name.
But please reach out, and this will be going out to every single person, every member coming through for 2023. And then just a recap of what happened on our annual Cinco de Mayo. We had 35 plus volunteers. We had over 1,500 people show up. During that time, when we started our marketing material, we had reached about 35,200 people during a span of 2.5 months. We had about 64 vendor booths, but 2023, we're moving it to a Saturday. This year, the only reason we didn't have more booths is because they had the farmer's market right next to it. So we didn't have all the space that we wanted to, but doing it on a Saturday evening, I think will give us an opportunity to have at least 72 booths. So that will be really nice. On YouTube, we have just a little recap of some of the things, some nice little pictures there. We talked about the entrepreneurship program. It's a 96-hour course. This cohort, we have 14 participants that went through it, but next year is something that we'll have to keep growing. There is an organization that is wanting to sponsor the LLCs after they're done with the program. So if they haven't registered their business, they'll be able to get that. The other thing too is there's an organization called Bridge for Billions, and Jordan De Silva is one of our members now that sponsored for 15 people to go through an incubation program. And it's a group of mentors or business consultants that can meet with the business owners once a week so that they succeed. So hopefully we finalize what that is going to look like. And then once it is, we'll start rolling it out, start looking for those 15 people to participate in that first cohort. So we'll see. Our public speaking program, we didn't have a lot of participation, not as much as I wanted to. We had one session where we had 14 evaluations. The public speaking program is something that is dear to me because I used to be a trainer for trainers. So whenever people were, doing presentations or being in front of an audience, a lot of times they were nervous and it just takes a lot of practice. And throughout the years, I developed an evaluation that goes through everything from how to prepare, how to engage the class, and then how to make sure that you're wrapping up and coaching people so that they understand the material that you're presenting. So hopefully I'm doing a good job. I don't know, maybe. But it's a great evaluation. People will now be able to record themselves, send it to us, and I can do an evaluation online. It doesn't take too long. Even on some of the Zoom calls, I think about the importance of how you present yourself. Everything from lighting, from posture, from hand movements, all of that takes practice. So hopefully we can get a lot more. If you guys know of anyone that wants to participate in the program, let me know. Or if you just want to keep practicing, yeah, let me know and we'll start working on it. As far as lunch learn, we had 13 online events, and it ranged. We had online virtual events for our recent one was about franchising. If you ever want to franchise your business, what are the things that you should consider? We had one with the International Trade Administration on exporting goods. We had some on finance, learn the basics with Google through the Better Business Bureau. We're putting some of those out. And then the U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce puts a lot of virtual events that we'll repost and share. But a lot of those are great. If you don't have the time, it's good to listen to, and we'll have as many recordings as we can into our channel so that you can replay it. So we'll definitely have more next year. And then as far as community engagement, just events that were put together by other organizations where our volunteers had to go. So it wasn't put to the chamber. We had over 200 volunteer hours. So I think one of the biggest ones that we participated in was with the Dallas Police, where they gave away backpacks before the school started. The place was packed. Yeah. I mean, it was full of people. So yeah. I think.
Hi, Bubs. Hi, Bubs.
All right. But definitely will a lot of organizations reach out to us to see if we can set up booths. So we definitely need people to, if you want to volunteer and have a booth, talk about the chamber and the reason. There. Hispanic Heritage Month, during that, we had about 8 events that we advertised and posted for members to attend. During that time, our reach online was about 15,000. And I was busy with organization. There was 2 events that we couldn't participate in because of time. But during that time, it was crazy. So we need a lot of volunteers during that period. But it was good to see those in 2023. Hopefully we can attend more. The Dia de los Muertos art show was the first time we had an art show, and that was put together by Ricardo Chu. Now I'm looking at in-kind donations. I'm looking at the stuff that was purchased. So around there, it was about $1,300 raised, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
It's great.
the printing, yeah.
The printing itself, how much? That was like.
So 20, well, if there were 15 pieces. 15. So each of them were $100. So
that's already $1,500.
Yeah, $1,500 plus sponsors that we had, donating for the purchases of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I didn't think I need help. That's why I didn't ask you guys. But you guys had the connection, so
Yeah,
that was a big help.
You don't believe in
bigger next year.
Yes,
So it'll be a lot.
yeah, so, yeah, we have to plan.
All right, so that's good. So 1,300 is.
We love it.
We're actually quite close to 3,000. We celebrated the concert with Noble Pangea this year, and they were putting together a series of concerts that would raise awareness in the art hearing community, to get hired on by a business. Now, the event, the concert, live concert was in July, if I'm not mistaken. And they put together all of their events where you had a translator, or you had a
Yeah, interpreter.
interpreter. Go through that, and you can find those videos online. We did release our first podcast on YouTube, and we recorded those sessions in the beginning of the year. One of our board members sponsored 5 episodes. And in those 5 episodes, we talked about, we had one on procurement, we had one on for vendors, we had one on just talking about what a chamber is. So I think those are really, really beneficial. We had one with the Better Business Bureau, why it's important to get accredited. And all of that is posted into Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everything you can think of, iHeartRadio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's, you can find those there. We have about 5,500 impressions, which is, you at least look at those videos for about a minute.
These just videos, no, is there any podcasts?
No, this is just YouTube, but I'll have to check,
Yeah.
like metrics on the Spotify and all those.
Yeah, so you can have those, the same interview
Mhm.
that you have on YouTube, you can have in a podcast.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That would be good then. We'll just continue that.
Yeah.
All right.
And the in-kind donation on that was probably about 6,000.
I think it was closer to 10,000.
10,000.
Yeah, in-kind donation, $10,000. It was very well put together.
Great studio.
Great studio, sound engineer. Hopefully, when we have our chamber corporate place, we can have a little studio for our members to use too. As far as advocacy or economic development, I talked a little bit about FC Dallas, their $5,000 grant, also about the South Dallas employment project. And I did want to highlight HHM. They opened up the new facility in South Oakland. And yeah, and that was something that David was the designer for that.
Yeah, very proud of that. But great to know them as an organization
Yeah.
in general. I mean, I believe in their cause, healthcare for at low to no cost for immigrant. And but anyways, we met through the chamber, and then we're on to our other project in downtown Dallas. And
Right, a day after?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, David,
Yeah,
David.
yeah, we were there.
You know, and I think it's kind of funny that David came to one of our workers and it was a really poorly attended networker that day. It was kind of out of the place and it rainy, I don't know, the day was horrible and there was just very few people. Our board members didn't show up. But he came in and we kind of made the contact and somehow he must have been somewhat impressed, I don't know, because he came back. And that's, I guess that's when he made you.
I think so.
No, I don't know.
You
You
never-
never know. There's people that
Yeah.
come once and come twice and then something great happens.
Yeah, they did set up another partnership too for some time with Canenta. The
Yes,
council.
oh, that's.
Yeah, the council service.
Mhm.
So, stuff like that.
There's
you
some
never
good
know.
synergies with HHN and the
Yes.
organization and the chamber.
Yeah.
Great synergies.
So we'll definitely work with them later on. One thing that I think, and this is the personal thing, because I used to be a data analysis or data analysis. And one thing I think is important to highlight is the economic impact of growing new business owners, or even setting up a facility there in South Oakland, because when you set up a facility, there's new jobs that you're creating. People are getting better healthcare, and I reached out to Implant, which is an organization that kind of estimates what economic impacts are when you do an event or when you say that, hey, there's 10 new business owners in this area, what's the, what's an analysis, what's the forecast on how that's going to impact the area? And if I have that information, then we can start looking at trends across different counties and saying this county is doing a really good job with vendor events or with vendor. What are the policies that they have that are helping develop those vendors? And then maybe that's how we can kind of look at developing other counties or other membership in other counties. But we'll see. That takes a little bit of money too. Some faces there. In our Conociendo networking events, we had them once a month. We had over 700 plus attendees. And that's being conservative because not everybody registers to those events. They show up and but that's okay. We had a great ribbon cutting with Peace, which is robotics. It's engineering company, but their office that they just opened up in Capel is focusing on robotics. So they're hiring 20 plus engineers, and the director is one of the only female executives in the organization. And she has committed to hiring Hispanic engineers. So there may be some positions opening for that too. So if you know anybody that would be great for that, let me know. We can probably make that connection.
This company is a French company, right? And they have been around for 100, 200 years, I don't know.
They've been around for 100 plus years.
They designed the Eiffel Tower or they built it? Or-
Yeah, they helped design the Eiffel Tower. Right. They've been around for a long time. So good. The quarterly roundtable, so it's just this roundtable. We had our first one this last quarter. And really those roundtables are really to develop ambassadors or really get people to participate a lot more. And I think it's good. I mean, you have, in order to volunteer, you gotta know what's going on. So this is the opportunity for that, and we'll continue these every single quarter and probably give better and better updates as we're growing. We had a lot of members that received awards everywhere. So Liliana Iglesias with one from Peace. We had Angie Contreras from Georgia.
Yeah.
She was nominated for the Luno.
Oh, yeah,
Award.
congratulations.
Yeah.
I guess next week or the week after.
All right.
There's a ceremony that they're gonna award her.
Yeah.
Maybe.
She's one of the nominees, and with the Regional Hispanic Contractors Association. We had Michelle Ochoa was awarded she won a pitch competition. You can't see it here, but she was the only Hispanic female out of the whole group. And she won the award because of her Vendors Act. And the Vendors Act is an application that helps weed out, manage and weed out spam and all of that. So she's actually the one that helped us put the Cinco de Mayo event together. It was through her platform. So I was really proud of that. We got awarded a community award by the Dallas Police, and they showed up to one of our networking events. We had Lupe, our CPA. I think she's actually logged in online.
Are you there, Lupe? Hello?
She was.
She was.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I have kiddos sick, and so I'm here.
Lord. Did you hear me?
I'm
Did you
sorry,
want to tell us?
you're cutting
Did you want
off.
to tell us? Award?
I'm sorry. Oh, about the award. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have kiddos sick and I'm coming back and forth. Oh, that was from the American Institute of Certified Tax Planners. So I received I went from certified tax coach to certified tax planner. So I was recognized at our annual convention in Nashville.
Awesome. All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
We had Marina Castro. She graduated. She's gonna be a brand new lawyer. I think her graduation just happened.
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. And then we had Dr. Letty with the Canenta Foundation. Canenta, they started a foundation. And I forget which magazine it was that awarded her. Was it, it was a big magazine that awarded her a prize for her work in the community. We had our board member, Jonathan, from the Undaunted Marketing Agency that got an award from Austin College for a lot of his work. And then we had Crystal Zetana, who received an award from the Dallas Chamber. And I believe it was, I'll have to get the exact title from Mr. Khan. But there was a lot of stuff going on there.
Make sure you share with us your success stories, because we like it, right?
I won't go all over all these numbers here, but just a recap on the growth on some of the platforms and email. And a lot of these, we actually just started this year. But all in total with board meetings, Zoom calls, quarterly roundtables, we conservatively had 1,152 hours of volunteer work. When they're out in the community volunteering, we have about 213. So this is volunteering for networking events, volunteering for ribbon cuttings, and any other community events. We send out survey scores. NPS is actually a type of survey that a lot of the top companies use, so or biggest companies use. So Apple uses it, United Health Group uses it, and they always aim to go above 90%. You know, we don't have as many surveys, but we do have 95%, really good. We had about 36 mentorship hours, and this is very, very conservative. Because I know I have at least 3 or 4 members reaching out to me for different stuff throughout the month. We had over 24 plus collaborations with different organizations. Our membership growth more than doubled. In total, we posted about 39 different events online, and we had very, very few people that we haven't reached out to for renewals, but 92% renewal rate right now. So I think that speaks a lot about. And then just want to thank our media partners. So some of these companies or volunteers helped us spread the message online. So we have vendors, DFW Network. I'll have to put Ricardo in there. Undaunted Marketing Agency, Trinidad with the Hispanic CMO, and Chris, who helped put sponsored the website and also started a Dallas Press initiative. Sponsored Citibank was our biggest sponsor this year. We also heard First United, Children's Health, and the Better Business Bureau actually sponsored for us to get BBB accreditation. So we'll start posting about that really soon. And then some of the collaboration for next year, we have the Dallas Entrepreneur Center, the DEC, and they have a really big event around September midweek, where thousands of businesses go. It's a 5-day event, so we'll be collaborating with them. U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the Texoma Council of Governments, Dallas, Tamac, the South Dallas True One, Dallas College, SBA, and the and Frisco Economic Development Corporation. Oh, and North Texas Adult Literacy. So I know we're adding a lot more to the list. We have to add Wiggins, White Wiggins. So there's a couple of more that we'll keep updating on that. And that is all. Any questions, concerns? That's a lot. Yeah, so.
But I do want to credit this young man here because yeah, everybody knows the story. He's organized, he is like great with just putting everything. You say, you know, wouldn't it be nice if we could do, and he's like, the next day I have graphics and projections, and I mean, a whole works. So I mean, he gets what we're doing. He knows exactly what this is all about, and you don't have to explain it to him. He basically just, runs with it. Very, very fortunate to have people like him. Julia has been an amazing asset to the organization despite her, with her business, she counsels parents on how to get their children into university and kind of navigate all of that. Andrew came in and we like,
And
I don't do numbers. I just know how to spend money. I don't know how to keep track of it. So so I know now I gotta be accountable here with Mr. Gonzalez. So it's amazing. People that have been out in here lately, Ricardo with the art, it's been amazing that you're.
We haven't started. I mean,
know,
that's
I
why,
know.
I'm like, well, I'm waiting for this foundation
Yes.
to get like really, in country close
Yes.
and,
We're really gonna have a good time. with
Yeah.
that, yeah. I want to acknowledge my nephew right over there. You see.
Oh, yeah,
I
it's
mean,
it.
I
That
get
was
on
good.
the wall and I get to do all this stuff. And,
Oh, Matt,
Matt.
Matt?
Matt, thank you for coming, and I think I think between you and David, maybe you can take care of membership here in the Denton County area. Definitely, and Sol has just been added as a new member. I really think that Sol is gonna be a, great person just to have as counsel and maybe even as a mentor to a lot of us, because I think this experience is very needed. Our Tater, you want to introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, and what you're doing.
I'm the owner of some of the vehicles in this year is certificated by Sam. It's a new venture because it's more about me than some of the people. Some of the people is more family. But I'm here today bringing up a couple of my samples to y'all. But unfortunately, but thank y'all for having me here.
Yeah.
I'm really nervous.
Thank you.
David, who came a little bit later. He's a good friend of mine.
I apologize. I live all the way on Illinois.
Okay.
That's a little bit, traffic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do two things. First thing, I'm a certified coach for your Mexico. I do leadership and sales. Based on sales, I do my second entrepreneurial business as a solo company, which I teach my team to go on close the deals, do the sales. So basically, it's just one match to the other. So I'm here to help. If you guys need some more seminars, some more talleres instead.
Workshop.
In English and take it in Spanish. That's what I was asking for you guys to get it to see what we can.
Well, let's just talk and then we can figure something out.
Definitely, I'd like to add sometime beginning of the year as a member of the chamber.
Very good.
So I've been follow the chamber for maybe a couple of years, 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't know when to lose me. I don't know, but I've been joining, I've been seeing exposed, like, then I noticed he joined us, like, oh, how you joined it? And then he's getting so good.
Well, there's room for all of you.
Yeah.
Good. And, we have a friend here, he's taking photographs.
Well, actually, I was checking what he's doing. He's gonna show you a couple of things. And also was talking to Sam. So one of the things that I say, thanks Sam for the food, pretty good.
Every time I want to say some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So marketing tools, next trying that, yes, somebody to do that. I'm right here.
Well, your information.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. Well, I think we did not meet two people that came in a little later. ¿No se puede presentar?
Claro que sí. Well, I'm Georgina Hernandez and he's my husband. We come here because we was one of the parents that Julia helped us to my son get to the college. And well, I used to have my business. Unfortunately, the pandemic, we had to close, but we're starting the business. He do a demolition company. Okay. And well, That's very much.
That's all right.
All right.
Okay, well, we're here to help you. in any way
Welcome.
we can.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
sorry, Bill lady.
Bienvenidos.
You know, that been in praise of like 18 years, you know, we come here to see what can. We go.
Okay, well, thank you for coming. I am really happy. I didn't know that you had already, they were related to you. That's great. Yeah.
All right.
This is great.
Well, I am closing out the online Zoom. They get to miss the party.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The food.
The wine, so it's-
Okay, then you know someone or get someone. Save money on the tuition. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm gonna have my little slider here.
Yeah, so David was one of the sponsors for the the other muerto,
Oh,
but he couldn't
He
make
didn't
it
make
because yeah.
okay. Well, thank you, David.
Yeah.
Really
And I would, yeah, and but he's very interested in, you know, helping out with the talleres and
Mhm, mhm.
I'm in Florida.
Yeah, he's saying, he belongs to the, Grand Prairie.
Grand Prairie, right?
that's where,
Yeah, and how often do you do the?
I do at least once a month.
okay.
I just did one couple of weeks ago, you know, I mean, last Saturday, on this Saturday, or last Saturday, the 19th. I did one, sales, teaching class.
Okay.
Also, once we get to the teaching class, we can do online or we can do,